Your super money that you can accumulate over your working journey is invested for your retirement. People often ask us the question, when can I access my super? For most of us, we can only access our super funds once we reach a certain age, known as your preservation age, and retire. However, in certain circumstances, it is possible to access your super funds early. For example, you may be able to access your super early if you're struggling financially, but you do need to meet certain criteria. Your super fund can help you through the claim process. The Australian Taxation Office, more commonly referred to as the ATO, can also authorise the release of your super on compassionate grounds. This may include for such things as medical treatment, funeral and mortgage assistance, and palliative care. You'll need to apply directly to the ATO if you think you might be eligible. You may also be able to access some of your personal super contributions under the First Home Super Saver scheme. This will also be determined by the ATO, who will advise your super fund if they are authorised to release an amount of your super for this purpose. Refer to ato.gov.au for all the details. Once you reach your preservation age and retire, you are also eligible to access your super. Your preservation age is determined by when you were born. As you can see in this table, if you were born from 1 July 1964, your preservation age will be age 60. If you were born earlier, then your preservation age will range from age 55 to 59. You can retire at any age, but if you are looking to access your super, you will need to have met your preservation age. Now let's discuss the main triggers or conditions of release when it comes to your super. Transition to retirement. Once you've reached your preservation age, you can consider a transition to retirement strategy, which enables you to transfer some or all of your super savings into a pension account, even while you're still working. This might help you ease more slowly into retirement by cutting back your working hours and start drawing on your super to make up the income gap, or provide some additional income if needed for a special reason, or may even enable you to increase your super contributions. This may be something to investigate, particularly for those over age 60, as the pension payments received would typically be tax-free. Permanent retirement from the workforce after reaching preservation age is the most common time people tend to access their super. You don't have to access your super straight away, but when you're ready, you can generally choose to start an income stream called an account-based pension, or take a lump sum amount, or a combination of both. It's quite flexible and you have access to all of your super if and when you need it. Another condition of release is ceasing employment with an employer after the age of 60. Even if you haven't permanently retired, you could access your super balance that you have accumulated up to that time if needed. Future super contributions from a new employer would not be available until you meet another subsequent condition of release. And finally, once you reach age 65, there are no restrictions. Whether you are still working full-time, part-time, or have retired, you can access your super funds. It is always best to ask questions and seek some advice before withdrawing any of your super to check if there are any rules you might not be aware of, or if there is any tax payable. Generally though, pension and lump sum payments from age 60 are tax-free. And remember, the rules and age requirements for the age pension from the government are different as well, and can be impacted by the amount you have in your superannuation savings. We all have different financial circumstances, goals for the future, and visions of what retirement looks like. Whether you have some simple super questions, require some personal advice about your statewide super account, or would like more comprehensive financial planning advice, Statewide Super has you covered. Advice when you want it, how you want it. Whatever the stage of your working life, the more you know about your super, the harder you can make it work for you. Hopefully you are now more familiar with when you can access your super. If you need any help or would like to get some advice, give Statewide Super a call and talk with your local super team. We're here to help you create yourself a super future.
Any advice contained in this presentation does not take into consideration your financial situations, goals, or needs. You must consider the appropriateness of the advice prior to acting on this information. Please seek advice or read the Statewide Super product disclosure statement prior to investing.